Hello guys, welcome to this live stream. So in this live stream, I will basically show you how to build out a desktop application using Tkinter, which allows you to basically create a video. We will create a video editor using FFMPEG, using Python, and we will be using Tkinter framework to build out this beautiful looking desktop application. And you will basically see this is the actual desktop application we will try to build. You will be able to select multiple images, and then we will be creating a video from these images, and we will also have an input field out there. Here you can provide how many seconds each image should appear in the video. So by default it is set to 5. And now if I select, you need to select PNG images or you can select JPG images. And now let me show you. Basically I select some multiple images. I have these images right here. So this will be creating a slideshow with each image appearing for 5 seconds. We can change this to, let's suppose I want to only appear, each image should appear for 2 seconds each time. So there is a button out there. If I click this button, generate video, now what will happen, FFmpeg will execute, and now after making the video, you just need to select the location where you need to actually save your video file. Let's suppose I create a new folder right here and I want to save this right here. So I will pick the location and give my output file name result. So by default the extension is selected MP4. So result.mp4 will be created at this location. So as I click the save button, you will see a pop-up window will appear by Tkinter, video saved successfully at this location. And now as you click the OK button, it will open the location automatically. So this is the actual location of the video file which is created. You can even play this video file. It will not contain any sound, but you can see slideshow of images. Each image is appearing for 2 seconds. And in this way you can basically export multiple images into a single video, where each image will appear for a certain amount of time that you will configure in the desktop application. So we will be building this inside Tkinter application, guys. I will show to you how I built this using FFmpeg, how I configured then all this into a single desktop application, which is Tkinter. You can do this, and for this you need to have FFmpeg installed on your machine. So make sure, just go to ffmpeg.org, and it is cross-platform library, and just download for Windows, Linux or Mac depending upon your operating system. So I already have this on install. As I type ffmpeg on my command line, if the command is successful, then you have successfully installed it. So now the very first thing, guys, we will actually create our app.py file. So you can, if you have any sort of problem, guys, you can directly purchase the full source code. I have given the link in the description. You can go to PayPal and make the payment in United States dollar, or you can go to Stripe and make the payment in Indian rupees. After payment, you will able to download this zip file from Google Drive, and then you can extract the content which will actually contain these two files. This is the main file app.py. So now I will show you guys step by step how I developed this application. So I will now delete this code and start from scratch. So first of all, as you know, guys, Tkinter basically allows you to make applications. Let me just show you. So step by step we will write the code. So the very first thing we will do right here, we will import the Tkinter package, import Tkinter as TK, and then from this base library of Tkinter, we also need to import the file dialog and the message box. These are the two modules that we need to import, guys, from this base Tkinter library. And we also need to import the sub process. This is a built-in module of Python if you want to execute command lines programmatically. And then we also need the JSON module, which is again a built-in module, and the operating system, which is again a built-in, time, random, all these are built-in modules. These are not third-party. If you have Python installed, all these Tkinter, all these modules will be pre-built. You need not have to install it. So after you basically import all these packages, guys, we will now write our basic Tkinter app. If you know something about Tkinter, guys, it's a very basic framework to write desktop applications. and we will be able to use this function tk. Sorry, we have imported Tkinter as tk, and it contains this function tk to initialize a new instance of Tkinter, and we can basically give it a title to this. So we can say that Tkinter video editor as the title of the window, and then we can even basically provide the frame. Here we can pass the frame, so root we can pass it, and then we can pack this. We can provide some padding from the x direction 10 and padding from the y direction as also 10. And after this, guys, what we need to do, if you want to see the output on the screen, just call root.main loop. This will actually start your application. So what you can say, python app.py, you will actually see your GUI screen right here. This is desktop app. By default, the size of the window will be slightly less, but if you see the title, we will see Tkinter video editor. So we are basically initializing this. Now if you want to add widgets on the screen, so what you can do right here, basically we now need to add the widgets. So for adding the widgets, it's very simple. We can even basically set the geometry by using this function. So let's suppose I want 500 by 500. So you can basically provide width and height as well. So now this will be 500 by 500. So we will now be adding some widgets on the screen, guys. First will be the label widget of Tkinter, and this basically takes the text value. So here we will simply allow the user to select images from their computer system. So we will basically have this widget select images to create video. After that, we will add this in a grid-like structure, label grid, and the row will be 0 and the column will also be 0. So this is basically top left position. Column span will be 2 and the padding from the y direction will be 5. And then we will have a second field, guys, where we will actually be showing you the paths of the images that you have selected. We will use the list box widget of Tkinter. It's similar to text area, and we will add it to the frame, and then it takes select mode. So here we will say multiple. So as we can allow the user to select multiple images, so that's why we are using multiple, and the width of this will be 50. And again we will add this, guys, this widget image input. We will call it the grid system. This will be the row will be 1, column will be 0, and the padding x will be 5, padding y will be, let's suppose, also 5, and the column span will be 2. That's all. So if you just refresh your application, guys, let me just show you. You will see basically this is your label, select images to create video. This is your list box, where it is similar to text area. Here we will show all the parts of the images that the user selects. After that, guys, what we need to do, we need to have an input field for the duration. So here we will allow the user to enter how many seconds each image should appear in the video. So the text will be simply duration per image. This value will be in number, in seconds. So how many seconds that you provide. So duration label grid. Again we will basically, row value changes. Now it becomes true. Column becomes 0. Padding x will be 5. Padding y will also be 5. These values are the uniform. Sticky, it will be sticky, guys. It will stick to the W position. The width will be sticky, and duration input, and this will be an entry field right here, where we will allow the user to write something. Entry widget of Tkinter, and duration input, we will insert a default value which is 5 in double quotes. So by default 5 will be inserted if user doesn't write anything, but we will take the default value. So we will add this in the grid structure. Row will be 2 and the column will be 1, and the padding X will be 5, padding Y will be 5 also, and it will be sticky in EW. And lastly guys, we will also have a button to actually submit the form. So we will have this upload button, and we will use the button widget of Tkinter, and we will basically say the text will be generate video, and like this. So this is our button. And also the second button, if you want to open, select the images. So this will be, the text here will be select images. So these two buttons are there. This is for the processing. After the user has selected the images, they will press this button to actually create the video, and then this is the select button where the user will actually open a drop down pop-up window where the user will able to select images from their respective system. So if you see, there will be duration per image. There is this input field out there. By default 5 is written. We can change this value as well, 10. But you will not see the buttons because we haven't added the buttons yet. So now to add the buttons guys, it's very simple. We now need to add these two buttons, upload button, grid, and again we will add this to the row 3, column 0, and column span 2, padding Y to 10, and open button grid, row will be 5, column will be 0, column span will be 2, and padding Y will be 10. So if you see, these buttons will also get added. So this is actually the interface guys, very simple interface. We have duration per image where we will allow the seconds. These are two buttons, these are the simply. So if you now select the images, we now need to show a window where the user can select images. So in Tkinter guys, basically if you want to bind a on-click listener to the button, we have a special property called as command. Let's suppose in these two buttons we need to attach some properties on click. So whenever we clicks, what should happen? So we can basically provide a value called as command, put a comma, and this is called as command. So here we will allow this function to run, open file dialog. We need to define this function. So whenever we click this button, what should happen this now? So at the very top we will define these functions, open file dialog. So inside this function guys, what we will show a simple file selector window. So file dialog dot ask open file name, ask open file names, and then we'll use a simple for loop for the different paths in this for loop. Image input dot insert tk and file path, that's all. So if you do this guys, basically it will insert all the paths the user selects, that's all. If you now refresh your application, basically if I click on this button select images and I go to my directory and I select these 5 images, we can select multiple images, you will see each image paths will be printed out. This is the first image, second, third, fourth, fifth. So all the 5 images paths has been basically written inside this list box Tkinter widget. That exactly what we want guys. Now if I now click this generate video button, I need to click simply call a FFMPEG command to actually export these images into a video. So how we can do that? We can simply attach the same property which we attached, which is command property. If you see, we can basically also attach this command property. So when we do this now, we need to create a method called as generate video. So just create this method generate video. So inside this method guys, what we need to do is that we now need to construct a output file name. f integer time, and after that we will also use the random module as well, random int, and basically the range will be 1000 comma 999. So why we are doing this, guys, because for the file name to be unique, so every time this it will be unique file name, because we are using these time and the random module. Every time the file name will be unique. So we have defined this variable. Now after that we now need to take the value. We will create a new variable duration, and inside this variable we will store the value of the duration input field. So duration input dot get, so it will store the value, and then the files image input dot get, it will get the value, the user write 0 comma tk dot end. And now here we will compare that if not files, if the user doesn't select the files, in that case we will show a user message that this will be error message, simple error message in Tkinter. We have this, please select at least one image, and we will basically return from the program. So this is very useful, guys. If the user doesn't select an image and then try to hit this button, what should now, if you see, if we don't select images, it is saying empty range and random range. Okay, I think a exception had taken place. I think I made a mistake in writing this. Just copy this, paste it here. Just paste it. You can see that now. And again, if I rerun this, you can purchase it, guys. The source code, the link is given. If I now click this button, you will basically see this error message, please select at least one image. So it is very good for whenever you are deploying production level applications, you need to handle situations like this. And then if the user has selected images, in that case we will actually create a object. In this object we will create images, which will be files. The second property, duration, this will hold the actual duration, and the third property will be the file name, which will be output file name. This is actually object that we created, guys. This contains three properties, and now we need to call a external Python script which will actually do the processing for us. So first of all, we need to convert this object to a string. For doing this, we can use the JSON module, json.dump, dumps, and we can pass our data. So it will convert this object into a JSON string by using this method json.dumps. And now we can basically call the subprocess module and run this simple command, which is Python, and the name of the script, which is FFMPEG underscore script.py. So this is the custom script, guys, that I created in the same folder, FFMPEG underscore script, and here we are actually passing our data string as an argument like this. And then the second parameter, another parameter is capture output to be true, and then the text to be also true. That's all. And now in this script, guys, it's a very simple script. Let me show you in this script what we are doing. It's a very simple script. Again, we need all these modules, JSON, subprocess. We can write in the same script, guys, but I just decided to destructure the process so that you can better understand. These are all modules that we need. And now first of all, we need to capture the data that we are passing to the script by using system.argv. So you can see we are passing this argument, which is data underscore string. So now to capture this, we are using system.argv1. So after capturing this, we can basically parse this data. So JSON dot loads, and where we can say data string. So we are basically converting that JSON string to a JavaScript object. And now we can basically say the images, data images, and duration will be data duration, and lastly the file name will be data file name. I think, yeah, yes. So you can see that we have provided these properties in the JavaScript object: images, duration, file name. So we are just destructuring it: images, duration, file name. So the spelling mistakes, the spelling needs to be the same, guys, in both these cases. And then we will basically open and create a new text file, guys, in this case input.txt, and we will write this in the same directory as if. So let me show you the syntax of this txt file, guys. So if you want to generate FFMPEG images to video command, guys, so there needs to be a txt file should be created. This is the actual format of the txt file, guys. So let's suppose I select 5 images. For all the 5 images, the path will be printed out like this: file space, this is a full path of the image, and then in single quotes if you see, and then the duration, which is 2. Then again goes for the second image, third image, fourth image. This is the actual format of the file: file space, the path of the file, and then the duration is the number of seconds each image should appear in the video. So this file needs to be created for the FFmpeg command to execute. So now we are actually creating this file. So now to create this file, we will basically say for image underscore path in images f dot write. So this, we are basically doing formatting here. So I will simply copy paste. That's all. So this file will get created, and then we will simply call the FFmpeg command to actually generate the video. That's all. You will get all the source code after you purchase it, guys, so don't worry about it. And after that, inside our sub process command, guys, if I just show you, if I want to run this file now, python app.py. So if I select these images, so I selected these images, and just make sure that in the left hand side, if I click the generate video option button, a file will be created, guys. You will see that firstly it created this file input.txt, and now it created this video. For each image will appear for 5 seconds. You will see that. So it's a slideshow, it has been generated. So each image appearing for 5 seconds, and you can take unlimited images and then convert this into a slideshow video file. And now we just need to show a, as we click this generate video button, after the video is generated, we just need to show automatically a window where we can save the file. So how we can do that? So here we just need to call a function simply. We need to call a function after we do this. So inside this function, sorry, yeah, I think, yes, so we need to call this function right here, video processed. You can call this anything. I will make this function and pass the output file name as an argument. And now we just need to define this function, guys, which is video processed. File name is passed to it, and then we will simply say directory path, and operating system, we will get the current working directory by calling this method get current working directory. We will get the directory path, and then we will basically make the full output path of the video to get the full output path. So operating system dot path dot join, and then directory path, and then the output path. output path. Sorry, this is yeah, file name which is passed. This basically consists of full output path, and after we do this, we now need to create another functions where we will actually show the to actually save the video. So we will pass this as an argument, full output path. We will create another function, save video output path as an argument. So inside this function, guys, we now need to say save underscore path file dialog dot ask save as file name, and default extension will be mp4 and the second parameter will be file types, and this will be a simple array, and where we only need to show the mp4 files. So mp4 files I will write, and then the extension. So this will be star.mp4. That's all. And after that, guys, we will simply say if the path is not correct, then we will simply return. We will not execute. If the path is available, then we will simply open output path, and we will need to read the content of the file, guys, the output video file. We will read this as video file, and then whatever is the content available in the file, we will simply read that video file dot. We will read it. We will call this function read, and now all the content of this video file, if you see, is available in this variable video content. And now we need to save this, write this content with open save path. So whatever the path selected by the user, we need to write the content of this file. So write binary wb and then as save file, and save file dot write. We will use the write method to actually write this video contents. That's all, to this target save path. Very simple logic. And then we can simply show a simple message box window to the user. Show info, video is saved at that location. So we can say video saved successfully, and then we can show the path to the user. Video saved successfully at save path, and then we can open that location automatically after you save it. So now to open that, we can simply call a function which is operating system dot start file and operating system dot path dot dirname, and then the save path. That's all. This is your full script, guys, and now if I show you this application in production, if I just reload that, select your images, target images that you need to convert to a video, and default value is 5, so let me change it to 2. Click. So now we can select our location. So if I now give it an output, create a new folder right here and save it hello, the file name, save it. So videos saved successfully at this location. If I click OK, it will open the path automatically, and now I can play the video file. So this is actually the FFMPEG video editor, guys, that we developed, and we constructed the video from multiple images. We created just a slideshow. Very simple application, but you got to know much more about FFMPEG and how we can configure it inside our Tkinter to actually make a desktop application in Python. And please hit that like button, subscribe the channel. If you need the full source code, the link is given, guys. You can purchase the full source code from either PayPal or Stripe. Both the payment links are given in the description. You will get the zip file after you purchase it. You can extract the content, and all these source code files will be there. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this live stream, and I will be seeing you in the next live stream.